The Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, Staff
Oh,
Representative
right, you can hear. That's pretty good.
DeChico, accompanying the House Republican Leader, the Honorable Kevin McCarthy. Staff Representative Bridget Brennan.
Hi everybody,
House
I'm just doing some
Majority
quick
Leader,
testing here,
Honorable Steny Hoyer,
which is quite unusual for me because I like to just
Staff
wing it,
Representative
if you like.
Kate
So
Knudsen, accompanying
I wasn't going to
Speaker
do
of the
this, I've
House
just decided literally
Representatives,
2
the
minutes
Honorable
ago
Nancy
to
Pelosi and Mr. Paul Pelosi.
hold on all.
Staff Representative Lindsey Kerr, accompanying the Honorable
I don't know, can I turn that down a bit?
and Mr. John Bessler. Staff Representative Mucko,
Doesn't appear to be.
accompanying Senate Majority Leader, the Honorable
Yeah, so what I am going to do is I'm going to, oh hold on. See if that works. Yeah, so I'm just going to run some comments alongside this and see what you think. Right. Yeah, Sleepy Joe. Do you notice how well his ankle is now? I mean, for somebody who broke his ankle not too long ago, doesn't appear to be limping. I was just in the middle of eating a sandwich, and I'm having a cup of tea, and I'm eating a sandwich, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm just going to go live with this and see what happens. So, you'll have to excuse me if I'm just having a bit of a bite to eat. Go on, Joe, you're making them stairs, mate.
Stairs, ready? Face!
Right to left, quick, march!
Port! Pause! Forward! Halt!
They look to be Capitol Police. I notice everybody's wearing masks. They weren't wearing them before, some of them weren't wearing them before. Right. So I'm watching it live, the same as you are. This is from C-SPAN, by the way. We're just going to see what happens. Because if you've been a follower of this Q thing, I mean, I'm not like a Q, or well, obviously I'm not Q. I'm not like an anon who does all the digging. I've been keeping an eye on it for a while, but it's going to be interesting because according to Q, something's supposed to happen yesterday, today, tomorrow, whenever. But as what I've found is nothing ever seems to happen. It's always coming tomorrow. Always tomorrow. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. That guy looks like he's wearing two masks, the guy in the camel coat.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Here
the
we go.
President-elect of the United States, Joseph
Or was he?
Robinette Biden Jr. and Dr. Jill Biden.
Yeah, she's not a medical doctor. I don't know what she's a doctor of, but it's not medical. It's not medicine. There they go. There's Heels of Paris. What is going to happen?
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Please welcome the Honorable Amy Klobuchar.
Ooh. I wonder what she's going to do.
Vice President Pence, Mr. President-elect, Madam Vice President-elect, members of Congress and the judicial branch, former presidents and first ladies, vice presidents, leaders from abroad, and a whole bunch of Bidens. America, welcome.
Yeah, especially
to the
Hunter Biden.
59th Presidential
We've
Inauguration,
got your laptop
where
in there,
just
and
a
about
few
3 hard drives, I
moments,
believe.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will take their solemn oaths. This ceremony is the culmination of 244 years of a democracy. It is the moment when leaders brought to this stage by the will of the people promise to be faithful to our Constitution, to cherish it and
Stop
defend
the steal.
it. It is the moment when they become, as we all should be, guardians of our country. Have we become too jaded, too accustomed to the ritual of the passing of the torch of democracy to truly appreciate what a blessing and a privilege it is to witness this moment? I think not. 2 weeks ago, when an angry, violent mob staged an insurrection and desecrated this temple of our democracy, it awakened us
Yeah, it was
to our responsibility.
evidence coming out that
as
was
Americans.
pre-planned.
This
Not
is
by
the
them, right?
day when
The
our
other side.
democracy picks itself up, brushes off the dust, and does what America always does. Goes forward as a nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This conveyance of a sacred trust between our leaders and our people takes place in front of this shining Capitol dome for a reason. When Abraham Lincoln gave his first inaugural address in front of this Capitol, the dome was only partially constructed, braced by ropes of steel.
There's no prizes for spot the criminal, by the way.
For spending funds on
There's
it
not enough money in the
during
world.
Civil War. To those critics, he replied, "If the people see the Capitol going on, it is a sign we intend the Union shall go on." And it did, and it will. Generations of Americans gave their lives to preserve.
So there's
our
lots of
republic
people
in
who've been
this
stating
place.
that something is
Great
going to happen
legislation
either
to protect
during
civil
or
rights
after
and
the
economic
ceremony.
security and lead the
Who knows?
world
We'll find out
with
soon
the
enough. I mean, this is
values
due to finish
crafted under
in
this dome. Now it
in
falls
about
on
40
all of
minutes,
us,
45 minutes.
Not just the two leaders we are inaugurating today, to take up the torch of our democracy, not as a weapon of political arson.
There's a guy
but
there
as an
to his, well,
instrument
to our
for
right,
good.
who's got wearing 2 masks.
We pledge today never to take our democracy for granted as we celebrate its remarkable strength. We celebrate its resilience, its grit. We celebrate the ordinary people doing extraordinary things for our nation, the doctors and nurses on the front line of this pandemic, the officers in the
Let's get the
Capitol,
pandemic in
a
there.
new generation
There's
never
Pence.
giving up hope for justice. We celebrate a new president, Joe Biden, who vows to restore the soul of America and cross the river of our divides to a higher plane.
Yeah,
And
when you
we
say is that what really
celebrate
means is
our
there's going to be a
first
massive witch hunt of
African-American,
people who've
first
supported
Asian
Trump,
American,
or anybody
and
who's worked for him by the looks
first
of it.
woman vice president, Kamala Harris, who stands on the shoulders of so many on this platform.
It's
who
difficult to
have
recognize
forged
people
the
'cause they've got
way
masks
to
on.
this day. When she takes the oath of office, little girls and boys across the world will know that anything and everything is possible. And in the end, that is America, our democracy, a country of so much good. And today, on these Capitol steps and before this glorious field of flags, we rededicate ourselves to its cause.
Really, that's
Thank you.
interesting.
It is now my honor to introduce to you the senator who has worked with me and so many others to make this ceremony possible. My friend
All
and the
socially
chair
distanced,
of the inaugural committee,
of course.
Missouri Senator Roy Blunt.
That's some set of scaffolding, not mind. Is he going to take his mask off? Let's have a look. Yes, his mask is off.
Well, I should have known when Senator Klobuchar got involved, at least there'd be a touch of snow up here this morning. Of all the things we'd considered, I don't think snow was on my agenda until I walked out the door a moment ago. But thank you, Senator Klobuchar.
What you're
and
seeing
thanks
there
to
is
other
the
members
bulletproof
of the
glass
Joint
that's in front of
Congressional Committee on
the
Inauguration
entourage
as we
there.
officially began the 59th inaugural ceremony. I also want to thank the Joint Committee staff and our partners, particularly our security partners.
Oh, are we going to see anybody get arrested?
The way they've dealt with
I've been reading lots of stuff this morning and early on this afternoon about how people are saying it's either something's going to happen now during the ceremony, something's going to happen after the ceremony, or nothing's going to happen. So that's the three options we're looking at.
Commonplace because we've done it every 4 years since 1789. Miraculous because we've done it every 4 years since 1789. Americans have
So there's a very interesting concept of in 1871, the United States is actually a corporation, a limited company.
Once again, all three branches of our government come together as the
So there's people have been going down that
Constitution
path, down that rabbit
Once
hole,
again,
saying
we
that the
renew our
United
commitment
States
to our determined
is actually a
democracy,
corporation and it's now been dissolved.
forging a more perfect
So we'll see what
union.
happens.
That theme for this inauguration, our determined democracy, forging a more perfect union, was announced by the Joint Committee before the election, with the belief that the United
Also,
States can only
there's
fulfill its
65,000
promise
National Guards
and set an
throughout
example
the
for
entire
others that we are
continental
always
United
working
States.
to be
There's
better
25,000 or
than we have
thereabouts
been.
in Washington, D.C.
The Constitution
There's also United
established
States
that
Marine
determined
Corps,
democracy
and
with
there's
its
also
first three
10th Mountain
words,
Division
declaring
in
the
Washington, D.C.
people
as well.
the source of the government.
So there's a
The
lot
Articles
of troops there.
Confederation hadn't done that. The Magna Carta hadn't done that. Only the Constitution says the government exists because the people are the source of the reason it exists. They immediately followed those first three words with the words to form a more perfect union. The founders did not say
we'll
to
see,
form
won't
a
we?
perfect union. They did not claim that in our new country,
Honestly, if you want to play a game of
nothing
Spot
would
the
need to be
Traitor,
improved.
you're going to be struggling to
Fortunately,
not
they
find one.
understood that always working to be better would be the hallmark of a great democracy. The freedoms we have today,
Look at the different types of masks
The
they've got. I
nation
mean, that
we
guy's
have
just picked a
today-
cheap one up, and that woman looks like she's got a designer one.
not here just because it happened,
59th Imperial.
and they aren't complete. A great democracy working through the successes and failures of our history,
it wouldn't be an Imperial being
striving to be better than it had
inauguration.
been. And we are more than we have been, and we are less than we hope to be.
Whatever that
The
means.
assault on our capital.
Oh, he's a dodgy character, mind.
just 2 weeks ago reminds us
There's a
that
patriot.
government designed to balance and check itself
Some of these people I don't recognise.
both fragile and resilient. During the last year,
Bird's
the
eye view there,
pandemic
mind.
challenged our free and open society and called for extraordinary determination and sacrifice.
traitor,
and
traitor,
still
traitor, traitor.
challenges us today. Meeting that challenge head on have been and are healthcare workers, scientists.
Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton's not looking too healthy at the moment, is he? He looks like he's on his last
and
legs.
so many others we depend on in so many ways.
There's Joe Biden. Will he be able to read his auto cue, or is he going to hazard of pressure? Maybe, maybe not.
Watch what we do here. Our government comes together.
Notice how quickly he recovered from that broken ankle. I know someone who had a broken ankle. That was a cracked bone in their ankle, and it took weeks and weeks to recover from that. Joe Biden, almost overnight, and he's quite old as well for a broken ankle.
A new administration begins and brings with it a new beginning. And with that, our great national debate goes forward, and a determined democracy will continue to be
Feels like I should be shouting or singing, "Where did you get that mask? Where did you get that mask? Where did you get that mask?"
What a privilege for me to join you today. Thank you. I'm pleased to call to the podium a longtime friend of the President-elect and his family, Father Leo O'Donovan, to lead us in an invocation. Please stand if you are able and remain standing for the national anthem and the pledge to our flag.
Oh, is Joe going to wander off? Has Jill got hold of him? Dr. Jill, that's his missus. It's not exactly smooth, is it? All right, you need a little podium to stand on. Be gone, devil worshippers! Ah!
Gracious and merciful God,
Is he going to do?
at
He's
this
going to do a
sacred
seance or something
time we
so he
come
can speak
before
to
you
Joe
to
Biden's
weep,
voters.
indeed on our knees. But we come still more with hope, and with our eyes raised anew to the vision of a more perfect union in our land, a union of all our citizens to promote
That guy with a stripe. What looks like it's been made out of pyjamas.
of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. We are a people of many races, creeds, and colors, national backgrounds, cultures, and styles.
I wonder if anybody's
Now
wearing a
far
Trump
more
2020
numerous
mask. That would be
and a
hilarious.
land much vaster.
Amy Coney Barrett, the
John
latest
Carroll wrote his
nomination
prayer
to the
for
Supreme Court.
inauguration of George Washington 232
That was
years
Kavanaugh, I
ago.
believe, as well. Not Roberts. I think
Archbishop
it's Roberts.
Carroll prayed that you, O Creator of all, would assist with your Holy Spirit of counsel and fortitude
Reverend Leo
the
O'Donovan.
President of these United States, that his administration may be conducted in righteousness and be eminently useful to
Bloody
your
hell, is Hunter
people.
Biden there? Has he got
Today
his
we
crack
confess
bite ready?
Our past failures to live according to our vision.
Come on,
of
now it's not that bad.
equality, inclusion.
I believe she's got Canadian flags on her jacket there.
Yet we resolutely commit still more now to renewing the vision, to caring for one another in word and deed, especially the least fortunate among us, and so becoming a light for the world.
Is that Big Mike there?
There is
I
a
believe it
power
is.
in
Yeah, that's
each
Kavanaugh
and
on the
every
left
one
there
of
at the
us
back.
that lives
There's Roberts there,
like
right in the
turning
middle.
to every other one
Just
of
as
us.
Roberts.
A thrust of the spirit to
Well, they look like they've
cherish
got ammo, full ammo
care
pouches,
and
some of them.
stand by others, and above all, those most in need.
Probably got the biscuits in them.
It is called love, and its path is to give ever more of itself.
I don't know if you remember the Trump
Today,
inauguration.
it
I
is
watched it.
called American
And he did have a lot of
patriotism,
military there, if memory serves.
born not of power and privilege.
Look at
but
that.
care
I mean, I'm
for the
surprised, to be
common
honest. I'm
good.
surprised Biden's got that many people in the
Malice
audience.
toward
He's
none,
probably 4 or 5 times what he
charity
normally
for
gets.
all. For our new president, we beg of you the wisdom Solomon sought when he knelt before you and prayed for an understanding.
It would be interesting as well to see how many
so that
people
I
are
can
outside the
govern
fence,
your
because the fence is
people
quite extensive.
Know the difference between
Up to
right
12 foot in
and
some
wrong.
places.
We trust in the counsel of the letter of James. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without
What is
finding
that?
fault.
Is she wearing 2 masks? Yeah, she
And
is.
it will
Lots of
be
people are wearing
given
2
to
masks.
you.
That's quite unusual.
Pope Francis reminded us
A double barrier to breathe
how
properly.
important it is to dream together. By ourselves, he wrote, we risk seeing mirages, things that are not there. Dreams, on the other hand, are built together.
They've also got ear coverings as well. That's
Be
rather
with
unusual.
us, holy mystery of love, as we dream together. Help us under our new president to reconcile the people of our land, restore our dream and invest it with peace and
Right,
justice.
yeah, really, I can't remember it being this long.
Joy that is
Yes, this is going to go on till about
of love.
5 p.m. UK
The
time,
glory of your
or
name
noon
forever.
in the USA. Will you remember to put his mask on? Oh, hold on, that guy's going in there. He's disinfecting it. That's what he's doing. Giving it a bit of a wipe down. Remember why you're here, Joe. Remember why you're here. Remember why you're here, Joe. Yeah, I'm here to get some shopping.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the presentation of our national colors by the Armed Forces Color Guard, the singing of our national anthem, and for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Now, just a reminder, I wasn't going to put this on the stream, but I thought, you know what, as I'm going to watch it anyway, might as well run a few comments over the top of it. Wonder if these guys are being vetted just in case they try to off Biden. I mean, that was a big thing. I mean, there's 12 members of the National Guard have been removed. I don't know for what reason, but apparently they didn't fit. It's quite groovy tune, this, isn't it? Oh,
Ladies
and it's
gentlemen,
ended.
Here for the singing of our national anthem, accompanied by the President's own United States Marine Band, please welcome Lady Gaga.
Oh my god. Oh my god. The spawn of Satan herself. Let's see what imagery she's wearing. No mask. It's the dove of peace. Well, you can hardly see that, can you? I mean, what's she wearing? She's wearing like a parachute. Now, a fair wind she'll take off with that bird on her chest. There's the monitors in her ears. I mean, I could get them, but gilded monitors. And a golden microphone. Wow.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's
Now, I do believe all this gilding is a nod towards Moloch. Pretty sure it is.
bright stars through the perilous
To be honest, I think I preferred Poker Face.
o'er the ramparts we watched were so
I wonder what point the dancers come in. There's nobody there, they're all flags. Let's have a drink of meat tea. Go on, ham it up, pet. There's about 80 people there, I think. Maybe he's in the crowd, maybe there's 100. Which is a lot for a Biden rally, to be fair. Oh, there's more people at the front as well. Go on, pet, you have a plate. I wonder if people are watching this to see and watch the Biden inauguration, or they're watching it to see what will happen in or after the Biden inauguration. Is there anything or something going to happen? Because that's why I'm watching. No weapons allowed. Let's see if she trips over her dress. To be honest, I prefer that earlier work.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the city of South Fulton, Georgia Fire and Rescue Department, President of the International Association of Firefighters, Local 3920, Fire Captain Andrea M. Hall, for the reciting of the Pledge of Allegiance.
Your hat's on, Wonky.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Well, it's
and
good to have
the
inclusivity
republic
for people who
which
have
it
hard of hearing.
stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I wonder how long she's been practicing that for. That is the the American Sign Language is different to the British Sign Language. Yeah, fist bump. Get in there and quick get it disinfected, mate. Is he the standard cleaner, do you think?
What you are all about to be part of America is a historic moment of firsts. To administer the oath to our first African American, our first Asian American, and our first woman vice president,
Well, which one is it?
Kamala Harris, it is my great privilege to welcome to the inaugural stage the first Latina to ever serve on the Supreme Court of the United States of America, Justice Sonia Sotomayor.
Got to get the diversity in mind, don't forget.
Please remain standing for the oath of office, followed by musical honors.
Musical honours, I don't even know what that is. We've all got to be socially distanced, mind.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after
This,
me.
by the way, this is going to be the new president. Biden's only going to be president for 5 minutes.
Harris, do solemnly swear
He's either going to retire after a short while, or
that I will support and
he's going to have the
defend
25th Amendment
Constitution of
for
the
his
United States
inability to be president.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I take this obligation freely,
That I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
So
That I
help me,
will
China.
well and faithfully discharge
That I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So
Well, if anything's going to happen in the middle of a ceremony, there's only about 15 minutes left. So we'll see what this Q stuff is all about, if it's about anything. Hey, we did it. We stole the election. Woo! Get in there. Yay! See how easy it is to steal it? The new president, everybody. I wonder if Biden will actually make it out without make it out of the place without her becoming president. Ooh, does he know something? Very strange. But yeah, I think kissing is allowed, but I don't think there's any tongues allowed. Hello, where Joe? I mean, you got Clinton there, you know. There's literally no limits with Clinton. Good old Billy Boy there. And you got Sniffer Joe, or Sleepy Joe. Well, the biggest con is COVID 1984. Yeah, I think Q's probably only second to that. But yeah, Boris and Joe match made in Sniffer 7. And if you have a look into Bo Joe's current squeeze,
My fellow Americans,
she's got some very strange
a
background. Have a look.
moment
Do
we
some
have all been
Carrie Simmons, she's called.
waiting for.
Do a search under images.
It is now my great privilege
Into Satanism,
and high
apparently.
honor to be the first person to officially introduce the 46th President of the United States, Joseph R. Biden Jr.
No, I'm not seeing SEAL Team 6 arriving round the corner, to be fair. Now, remember why you're here, Joe. Don't go wandering off. Hey, and the
Justice
small
Roberts.
group of people goes wild.
Vice President Harris, Speaker Pelosi, Leader
7
Schumer,
minutes.
Leader McConnell, Vice President Pence, my distinguished guests, my fellow Americans.
The
This
storm is upon us.
is America's day. This is Democracy's Day, a day of history and hope, of renewal and resolve. Through a crucible for the ages, America has been tested anew.
We're slurring a bit. I wonder if China's going to get a mention.
Risen to
Just
the
like to thank
challenge.
President Xi.
Today, we celebrate the
10%
triumph
for the big
not
man.
of a candidate, but of a cause, the cause of democracy. The people, the will of the people has been heard, and the will of the people has been heeded. We've learned again that democracy is precious. Democracy is fragile. And at this hour, my friends, democracy has prevailed. So now, on this hallowed ground where just a few days ago, violence sought to shake the Capitol's very foundation,
Really?
we come together as one nation, under God, indivisible, to carry out the peaceful
Cameraman wasn't
transfer
great
of
on that one.
power as we have for more than 2 centuries. As we look ahead in our uniquely American way, restless, bold, optimistic,
This guy's not going to last 5
set
minutes,
our
is he?
sights on the nation we know we can be and we must be. I thank my predecessors of both parties for their presence here today.
Both party.
I thank them from the bottom of my heart. And I know,
They're all on the same team, man.
the resilience of our Constitution and the strength of our nation, as does President Carter, who I spoke with last night, who cannot be with us today, but whom we salute for his lifetime in service.
What's he doing? Watch that guy with the camera.
I've just taken the sacred oath.
There's Bo
Each of those
and
patriots
Barack Obama and Big
have
Mike.
taken. The oath first sworn by George Washington. But the American story depends not on any one of us, not on some of us, but on all of us, on we the people who seek a more perfect union. This is a great nation. We are good people.
Just wait for the executive
Over the
orders to come out.
centuries, through storm and strife, in peace and in war, we've come so far, but we still have far to go. We'll press forward with speed and urgency, for we have much to do
As soon as the cameras go off, these
This
masks are
winter
going to come off
peril.
these people.
and significant possibilities. Much to repair, much to restore, much to heal, much to build, and much to gain. Few people in our nation's history have been more challenged or found.
Now, what would be
more
funny is he had
challenging
some sort of breakdown. That would be
the time
hilarious.
we're in now. Once in a century virus that silently stalks the country. It's taken as many lives in 1 year as America lost in all.
96% of them, the CDC have admitted, have been
Millions of
misdiagnosed.
jobs have been lost. Hundreds of thousands of businesses closed.
Look at all the people that
Cry
aren't there.
for racial justice, some 400 years in the making, moves us. The dream of justice for all will be deferred no longer.
Wow.
A cry for survival
Bill Clinton's looking a
comes
bit
from
old and
the
ropey,
planet
isn't he?
itself. A cry that can't be any more desperate or any more clear. And now, a rise of political extremism, white supremacy, domestic terrorism, that we must confront and we will defeat.
Watch out, all you Q people, all of you Trump supporters,
To
anybody who's
overcome
worked for
these
Trump,
challenges,
they're coming for you.
Restore the soul and secure the future of America requires so much more than words.
3 minutes left.
It requires the most
At 12 noon,
elusive of all things.
Trump
in a
is no longer
democracy.
president.
Unity.
So that has a switch over time at 12 noon. Even though he's
Another
sworn in now,
January,
he doesn't become actual president
On New
until
Year's Day in 1863,
1 second past 12 or at 12.
Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. When he put pen to paper, the president said, and I quote, "If my name ever goes down into history, it'll be for this act, and my whole soul is in it." My whole soul is in it. Today, on this January day, my whole soul is in this, bringing America together, uniting our people, uniting our nation. And I ask every American to join me in this cause. Uniting to fight the foes we face: anger, resentment and hatred, extremism, lawlessness, violence.
Yeah, it is a bit sickening to watch you right, Mark. It's rather odd, isn't it? Where's the Durham report?
Great things, important things. We can right wrongs. We can put people to work.
There's
in good
Ted Cruz. I
jobs.
don't know who
We
the
can
guy
teach
sitting
our
next to him is.
children in safe schools. We can overcome the deadly virus. We can reward work.
Oh, he's tripping.
Rebuild the middle class and make health care secure for all. We can deliver racial justice, and we can make America once again
Great.
leading force for good in the world.
I
I know
missed a
speaking of
trick there.
unity can sound to some like a foolish fantasy these days.
That looks like
I know
Christopher
the
Biggins, but it's
forces
not. It's
that
Mr.
divide us are
Turtleneck
deep,
himself, Mitch
and
McConnell.
they are real. But I also know they are not new. Our history has been a constant struggle between the American ideal that we're all are created equal and the
But
harsh
some are more equal than others.
reality that racism, nativism, fear, demonization have long torn us apart.
I wonder how many
Battle
weeks he's
is
been
perennial.
practicing this.
And victory is never assured. Through Civil War, the Great Depression, World War, 9/11, through struggle, sacrifice, and setbacks, our better angels have always prevailed. In each of these moments, enough of us have come together to carry all of us forward. And we can do that now. History, faith, and reason show the way of unity. We can see each other not as adversaries, but as neighbors. We can treat each other with dignity and respect.
Remember this.
We can join forces.
This won't last 5 minutes.
Stop the shouting and lower the
Ilham
temperature.
Omar. Yep.
For without
Another
unity,
traitor.
there is no peace, only bitterness and fury. No progress, only exhausting outrage. No nation, only a state of chaos.
Talking about the
This is
BLM
our
riots there,
historic
and the
moment
Antifa riots.
of crisis and challenge. And unity is the path forward.
Oh
And
dear,
we
that's not
must
looking good,
meet
is it?
This moment as the United
There we go. So
States of
Trump
America.
is president no more.
If we do
Unless
that,
he's signed the Insurrection
I
Act in the last
guarantee
5
we
minutes,
will not
nothing,
fail.
and I mean
We
nothing,
have
is going to
never,
happen.
ever failed in America.
3 evers.
We've acted together.
Was he starting to go off script a bit, do you
So
think?
today, at this time, in this place, let's start afresh.
Come on, man!
Let's begin to listen to one another again. Hear one another. See
That bloke's
one
got
another.
like a very long face, hasn't he? Like a
Show
horse.
respect to one another. Politics doesn't have to be a raging fire, destroying everything in its path. Every disagreement doesn't have to be a cause for total war.
Yeah, yes, he'll be
We
starting a
must
few of them, don't
reject
forget.
the culture
Straight
which
back into
facts
Syria,
themselves
Afghanistan,
are
Iraq.
manipulated
Probably
and even
invade a few more
manufactured.
countries. Iran. Yeah, probably start Third World War as well.
My fellow Americans,
The
we
storm
have
is
to be
upon
different
us.
than this. America has to be better than this. And I believe America is so much
Yeah,
better
Mark,
than
I think
this.
it's only a
Just
certain
look around.
amount of time before he starts going off on a
Here we
tangent.
stand in the shadow of the Capitol Dome, as was mentioned earlier, completed amid the Civil War, when the Union itself was literally hanging in the balance. Yet we endured. We prevailed. Here we stand, looking out on the great mall where Dr. King spoke of his dream. Here we stand, where 108
Nice one, big fake
years
charade
ago,
from
at another
Cradle to Grave.
inaugural,
Yep, that was
thousands
true.
of protesters tried to block brave women marching
Life
for the
is a
right to vote.
cabaret, old chap.
And today, we mark the swearing in of the first woman in American history elected to national office, Vice President Kamala Harris. Don't tell me things can't change.
Thought he was going to have a bit of a runaway there, mate. How about the hazard of pressure?
Across the Potomac from Arlington Cemetery, where heroes who gave the last full measure of devotion rest in eternal peace. And here we stand, just days after a riotous mob thought they could use
Led by
violence to
Antifa.
silence the will of the people, to stop the work of our democracy, to drive us from this sacred ground. It did not happen. It will never happen. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Not ever. To all those who supported our campaign, I'm humbled by the faith you've placed in us. To all those who did not
Just like to
support
thank
us,
China,
let me say this.
like to thank Italy,
Hear
like
me
to
out
thank
as
Germany,
we move forward. Take a measure of me and my heart.
Venezuela.
If you still
Cuba.
disagree, so be it. That's democracy. That's America. The right to dissent peaceably.
Obama's hand stuck.
in the
Yeah, he is a
guardrails of
puppet.
our
He is
republic,
Obama's
perhaps
puppet, that's
this
for sure.
nation's Greatest strength. Yet hear me clearly.
Yeah, this guy's a medical
agreement
miracle.
must
His
not
ankle's
lead to
healed
disunion.
overnight, and so is his dementia.
And I pledge this to you. I will be a president for all Americans. All Americans.
Just not the Trump ones.
And I promise you, I will fight as hard for those who did not support me as for those who
The majority of
did.
voters.
Many centuries ago, St. Augustine, a saint of my church, wrote that a people was a multitude defined by the common objects of their love. Defined by the common objects of their love.
Yeah, you get that right there,
What are
Joe.
the common objects we as Americans love that define us as Americans?
Guns.
I think we know. Opportunity, security, liberty, dignity, respect, honor, and yes, the truth.
Yeah, that's something he's left behind a long
Recent
time ago.
weeks and months,
Even though the truth
taught
is
us
it
a
ran up to
painful
him and
lesson.
smacked him in the face.
there is truth and there are lies. Lies told for power and for profit.
Yep, that's what he does.
And each of us has a duty and a responsibility as citizens, as Americans, and especially as leaders.
Either will.
Leaders who have pledged
Probably
to
will
honor
suffocate
our
on their own
Constitution
CO2.
and protect our nation.
Oh, look,
defend
Bill
the
Clinton's
truth.
nodding off. Did you see that?
Defeat the lies. Look,
Come on, man.
I understand that many of my fellow Americans view the future with fear and trepidation. I understand they worry about their jobs. I understand, like my dad, they lay at bed at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering, can I keep my health care? Can I pay my mortgage? Thinking about their families, about what comes next. I promise you, I get it. But the answer is not to turn inward, to retreat into competing factions,
Oh, Bloke's watch looks really old.
trusting those who don't look like you,
The digital watch from the
or
1990s.
worship the way you do, or don't get their news from the same sources you do.
By the way, these are the young people that voted for
Must end
Biden.
this
I'm just
uncivil
expecting
war.
a medium to come round
red
later,
against
and so we
blue.
can talk to these actual people that did vote for him,
Rural
all
versus
the dead
urban,
people
or
from the
rural
1850s.
versus urban, conservative versus liberal. We can do this if we open our souls instead of hardening our hearts, if we show a little tolerance and humility, and if we're willing to stand in the other person's shoes, as my mom would say, just for a moment.
You're right,
Stand in
Mark. He
their
is the
shoes.
biggest grifter in history. So,
Because
if they are allowed to get away with this, you can forget about any free and fair elections anywhere, really,
No
anywhere in the Western
accounting
world.
for what fate will deal you. Some days, when you need a hand.
It's going to break into a
There are other
song.
days when we're called to lend a hand.
A Turkish Gucci
how it
bag.
has to
You're right,
be.
CM. He is about as
Do for
genuine
one
as a
another.
Turkish Gucci bag.
And if we are this way, our country will be stronger, more prosperous, more ready. For the
I wonder how
future.
long it's going to be before Heels of Paris starts looking at our watch going, right,
My fellow
you can leave now, Joe.
In the work ahead of us, we're going to need each other. We need all our strength to persevere.
Ooh,
this dark
preserving, he said.
We're entering what may be the toughest and deadliest period of the virus.
Oh,
We must
foreshadowing.
set aside politics and finally face
COVID-21 's
this
coming.
pandemic as one nation. One nation. And
Remember,
I
he warned
promise
about
you
the dark
this,
winter. It's coming.
As the Bible says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. We will
Is
get
that
through
your
this
your helping hand
together.
called Joy?
Together. Look, folks, all my colleagues I serve with in the House and the Senate up here, we all understand the world is watching all of us today. So here's my message to those beyond our borders.
That's us.
America has been tested, and we've come out stronger for it. We will repair our alliances and engage with the world once again.
Straight into the Paris
Not to
Accord.
meet yesterday's
Billions
challenges,
down the
but
drain.
today's and
Straight into the
tomorrow's
Iran
challenges.
nuclear deal.
And will lead not merely by the example of our power, but by the power of our example.
Export all the jobs to China again.
We'll be a strong and trusted partner for peace, progress, and security.
More wars started.
Look, you all know we've been through so much
Come on, man.
in this nation.
Bloody hell, what's
My
he doing
first
there?
act as president, I'd like to ask you to join me in a moment of silent prayer. Remember all those who we lost in this past year to the pandemic. Those 400,000 fellow Americans, moms, dads, husbands, wives, sons, daughters, friends, neighbors, and co-workers.
His
We'll
dementia's
honor them,
completely gone. I thought he's
becoming the
actually
people
been
and the
pumped full of
nation
drugs.
we know
And that's
we
why he didn't
can
do any
and
of
should be.
the
So I ask you,
tests, the
Let's say
dry
a
runs,
silent
because he
prayer
didn't want him to,
for
you know,
those
get
who
exhausted.
lost their lives and those left behind, and for our country.
No, I think you're right, CM. Obviously, that was a bit of a scam.
Amen. Folks, this is a time of testing.
There's a few who got weapons there by the looks of them. I thought they all
Face
might
an
have
attack
weapons.
on our democracy and on truth. A raging virus,
Are they then
growing
just going to march
inequity,
forward and arrest everybody?
the sting of systemic racism, a climate in crisis, America's role in the world. Any one of these would be enough to challenge us in profound ways. But the fact is
Is
we face
that
them
the silent
all at
prayer over?
once,
Or
presenting
Did I
this
miss that?
nation with one of the gravest responsibilities we've had. Now we're going to be tested. Are we going to step up? All of us? It's time for boldness, for there's so much to do.
I know
And this is certain.
there's going to be a lot of people disappointed with
I
the Q
promise you.
movement. Literally millions.
We will be judged, you and I, by how we resolve these cascading crises of our era. We will rise to the occasion is the question. Will we master this rare and difficult hour? Will we meet our obligations and pass along a new and better world to our children? I believe we must. I'm sure you do as well. I believe we will. And when we
Yeah,
do,
civil war. There might, you're right,
we'll
might be right,
write the
CM. There
next
might be
great
civil war.
chapter
And I don't
in the
think it'll
history of the
be
United States of America, the
groups of
American
people shooting
story.
at each other in the street
story
like people think it will be. I think
Might
it'll be more
sound
like Northern
something
Ireland
like a
troubles,
song that means a lot to me.
where they'll kill a couple of yours, you'll kill a couple of them, and that just
American
goes on and on and on, with the occasional
one verse.
blow up.
That stands out, at least for me, and it goes like this. The work and prayers of century have brought us to this day. What shall be our legacy? What will our children say? Let me know in my heart when my days are through.
I'll be next week.
America, America, I gave my best to you. Let's us add our own work and prayers to the unfolding story of our great nation. If we do this, then when our days are through, our children and our children's children will say of us, they gave
Yeah, I
their
think you're right,
best.
CM. It is an inside job.
They did their duty. They healed a broken land. My fellow Americans, I close the day where I began, with the sacred oath.
Good trouble.
Before God and all of you, I give you my word.
It would be funny if somebody was wearing a Trump 2020 mask. That
I
would be
will defend
hilarious.
the Constitution. I'll defend our democracy. I'll defend America. And I'll give all of you, keep everything I do in your service, thinking not of power, but of possibilities, not of personal interest, but the public good. And together, we shall
What
write
utter
an
lies this
American
is.
story of hope, not fear, of unity, not division, of light, not darkness, a story of decency and dignity, love and healing, greatness and goodness. May this be the story that guides us, the story that inspires us, and the story that tells ages yet to come that we answered the call of history. We met the moment. Democracy and hope, truth and justice did not die in our watch but thrived. That America secured liberty at home and stood once again as a beacon to the world. That
I'm surprised he's actually lasting this long, to be fair, mind. I thought he'd be 5 minutes and done.
To follow. So, with purpose and resolve, we turn to those tasks of our time. Sustained by faith, driven by conviction, and devoted to one another and the country we love with all our hearts. May God bless America, and may God protect our troops. Thank you, America.
Yeah, thanks, America. And nothing's happened. Oh dear me. No, they're not. No, they're not carrying weapons. There's a few of them carrying weapons, but not many of them. He's reading from the prompter. There'll be a prompter right in front of him. It'll probably be a big screen. There's the two either side. You know, these they're like the tinted perspex or something. But there'll also be where that tower
Ladies
is.
and gentlemen,
Oh,
please
not
be
comms
seated.
tower, but it's like a TV or camera tower, media tower. There'll be something in front of it. In fact, there you can see it there.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
That
Garth
structure there.
Brooks
There's a big
to
screen on
perform
front of it.
Amazing Grace.
So he's looking directly at it. So the camera is also in his eye line as well. So it's like me reading something, and you can get it for these type of cameras, where you can read it as if you're looking into the camera and reading it, just like they do on the BBC News. Not that I watch it anymore. Looks like he needs to clean his trumpet a bit. That's what I used to play.
Amazing grace,
That's Gareth Brooks.
how sweet the sound.
I didn't realise there was so much music, so many singers.
Say,
Yes, look at all those flags, because let's face it, they were never going to get that many people.
like me, I once was lost, but
Yes, the auto cue. So basically what happens is, on these sorts of events, you'll have the two perspex screens on either side, which you can see, so we've got a slight smokiness to them. So you can see the your script being scrolled up there, and there was like a massive screen, probably over 100 inches, like massive. There'll be obviously an LED screen or whatever these days, and it'll be right in front of him. So he's looking at it as if he's looking out into the crowd. So what they don't want is people looking down over reading. Is that they want to be able to look almost in the camera. So you that won't be in. That was just underneath the camera. If you get another shot of that media tower, the camera tower, there's a big one on there.
God's praise, then when we
Thinks he's God, dressed like the devil, to be honest, like. All in black.
If I can ask you to sing this last verse with me, not just the people here, but the people at home, at work, as one, united.
That's right. Forget all the riots. Forget dozens of people that were killed in the riots or peaceful protesting. And let's all unite, because if you don't, you're going in the gulag. Yeah, we don't mean Trump supporters, though. We don't mean them. We don't mean people who work for Trump.
like me, I once was lost, but now
Nobody can breathe with their masks on, though.
found, was blind, but now
Is she actually singing, or is she just miming, do you think? Hardly anybody there, man. A common feature you've seen, if you've ever been paying any attention to some of the stuff he's been doing, every single rally he had, or even anything on a virtual event, he couldn't even get 1,000 people watching. I mean, I was watching, and I think the lowest one I saw was about 860. 860. He was really struggling to get anything over 1,000. Yeah. Don't forget your mask, Garth. Oh, he's forgotten his mask. Maybe he's got one of them neckerchiefs, you know, the cowboys wear. He's going back for his horse.
Hard not to be reminded of President Obama's singing that same song at the Mother Emanuel Church. A song that in our culture is as close to both poetry and prayer as you could possibly come.
Is it really?
And we're going to finish with those two things. Let me introduce Amanda Gorman, our nation's first ever National Poet Laureate.
But a poet laureate, is that not a British idea? Oh, there's the cleaner. Out he comes. Get your disinfectant on there, mate. You have to go around disinfect a few people. Have a Garth Brooks has hugged a load of people. Now pass the Rona around. Actually got a bigger chair than Joe Biden.
Mr. President, Dr. Biden, Madam Vice President, Mr. Emhoff, Americans, and the world. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find
Might have
light
to go
in
and
this
pay me toenails.
never-ending shade?
Paying them
The
gold.
loss we
Yeah, I
carry,
see.
the sea we must wade. We've
What's his
braved
face?
the belly
Hussein
of the
Obama's
beast. We've learned
and,
that quiet
and Big
isn't
Mike.
always peace. In the norms
I wonder if
and
Mike's had a shave
notions of
today,
what
because he doesn't
just
need to. He's
is
wearing that mask.
Isn't
Probably got about 3
always
days
just
stubble under it.
is. And yet the dawn is ours before we knew it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of
Doesn't
the
rhyme very
country
much, this poem,
in the
does it?
time were a skinny black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother, can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge our union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures,
Yeah, quite a few people are
colors,
wearing double masks, I've noticed.
characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gaze not to what
Just do a
stands
search, not on
between
Google, mate, go to
us, but
DuckDuckGo
what
and do a
stands
search for
before us.
Michelle
We
Obama
close the divide
dancing.
because we know to put our future first, we must
and
first put our
you'll see why
differences
she's called
aside.
Big, or
We
he's called Big
lay
Mike.
down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We
Oh,
seek
on the
harm
Ellen
to none
DeGeneres
and
show as well, that's the
harmony
best
for
one.
all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is
Yeah, you got to be
true.
dead careful with COVID, because
That
apparently you can
even
jump like
as we grieved,
6
we
feet or
grew,
more.
That even as we hurt, we hoped. That even as we tired, we tried. That we'll forever be tied together, victorious. Not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. Scripture tells us to envision that everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. If we're to live up to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in all the bridges.
Oh dear,
we
oh
made.
dear. I
That
think
is
the Q
promise to
supporters,
blade,
or the
hill we
Anons,
climb,
not called
and only
QAnons, they're called Anons.
dare it, because being
I think the
American
Anons are going to
is
be
more than a pride
apoplectic,
we inherit.
incandescent,
It's the past we step
utterly
into, and how
outraged,
we repair it. We've seen a force that would shatter
murderously
our nation
angry.
rather than share it.
I think,
Would
you know,
destroy
I think
our
there's going to be,
country
like you
if
say, there's
it
going to be
meant
mass
delaying
riots. There's going to be a lot of people
democracy.
buying even more ammo
And
and
this
guns.
effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically
you're right, CM.
it can
The
never
media have done a
be
fantastic job of
permanently
dividing people, especially in the UK as well.
In this truth, in this faith we trust, for while we have our eyes on the future, history has its eyes on us. This is the era of just redemption. We feared it at its inception. We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour, but within it we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. So, while once we asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe?
Oh, dear.
Now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly
See, two
prevail
masks.
over us? We
Don't
will
know who
not
she is,
march
don't
back
recognise her.
to what was, but move to what shall be, a country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burdens. But one thing is certain: if we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change
Gold's
our
gone up, has it?
children's
Wow.
birthright.
Interesting. I wonder if
let us
cryptocurrency's
leave
gone down.
behind a country better than the one we were left with. Every breath from my bronze-pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the gold-limbed hills of the west. We will rise from the wind-swept
Have a look at
northeast,
Bitcoin.
where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities
Bitcoin's
of the
gone
Midwestern
down to
states.
25 and a
We will
half
rise
grand.
from
That's
the
ridiculous.
sun-baked south. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover.
Gone down 7% in the last, 24 hours.
Every corner called our country, our people diverse and beautiful will emerge battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade.
God, this is boring, this,
flame
isn't it?
Unafraid, the new
I mean,
dawn
like a different type of
blooms
boring.
as we free it. For there was
2.32%
always light,
it's gonna
if only
buy.
we're brave
Okay.
enough to see it, if only we're brave
Oh, that's
enough
not gold.
to be it.
Thank God that's over. It's gone up by 0.6%. Just for the commentary. Nice one, CM. Hopefully I'm not
Thank
doing
you,
too badly.
Amanda Gorman.
I've not really done a commentary on live events. Or it's the first time for everything. So, you know, be gentle.
African Methodist Episcopal Church in Wilmington, Delaware.
Try saying that after 10 pints.
President Biden for 30 years.
Of course, Biden's got to get his black credentials in. You know, his diversity stuff. Oh, hold on, there's a cleaner. Double masked Dom there. Oh, don't forget the corners, mate. You missed the corners. I wonder what his badges say.
And the holiness of your people.
Yeah, there's a lot of these prayer things going on, isn't
your
there?
face, your smile, your warm embrace. We petition you once more in this celebration. We pray for divine favor upon our president, Joseph R. Biden, and
Junior.
our First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, and their family. We further ask
Wow,
that you would
13,000,
extend
yeah.
the same favor.
Yeah, there's no
on
interest in it.
our
I'm just
Vice
watching to see what happens. I thought maybe
President, Kamala Harris,
see if this Q stuff
our
was going to
second
come down to anything,
Doug
but
Emhoff,
it looks like
and
it's
their
not.
family. More than ever.
So
More than
President
ever.
Trump is president no more.
They
I mean,
and our
come
nation
noontime,
need
because this is
you.
5 hours behind in the
We
time
need
zones
you.
over where this is in Washington,
For
D.C.
in you we discover our common
He hasn't been
humanity.
president for 27,
In our
28
common
minutes.
humanity, we will seek out the wounded.
Ooh, see
and
how
bind their
wounded.
wounds.
Alas,
We will
poor
seek
Yorick.
healing for those
I knew him,
who are
Horatio.
sick and diseased. We will mourn our dead. We will befriend
Yeah, I
the
mean,
lonely, the
I'll
least,
try and get more
and
than
the
4
left
viewers
out.
if I can, to be fair. But
We will share
wasn't
our
expecting anybody, to be
abundance
honest,
with
because I
those
just
who are
literally put it out 2 minutes
We will do
beforehand.
justly to the
I was just going to watch it. And I thought,
Acknowledge
why not
sin
go live? I haven't been live for a
and
couple of weeks. I
seek
need to get back on
forgiveness.
track with that.
thus grasping
I've got an
reconciliation.
epic new episode
In
coming out soon, though.
discovering our humanity, we will seek
Taking us
the
a while to put
good
together,
in
but
and
it's
for
absolutely
all
epic.
our neighbors. we will love the unlovable. Remove the stigma of the so-called untouchables.
Who are the
We will
untouchables
care
like?
for our most vulnerable, our children, the elderly, emotionally challenged, and the poor. We will seek rehabilitation beyond correction. We will extend opportunity to those locked out of opportunity. We will make friends of our enemies.
Oh, is that Natalie
We will
Biden?
make friends.
She not write something rather salacious in one of her diaries?
People, your people, shall no longer raise up weapons against one another. We will rather use our resources.
Yeah, because Joe's going to
for the
take them all off
national
you.
good and
No
become
more
a
Second
beacon of
Amendment.
life and goodwill to the world. And neither shall we learn hatred anymore. We'll lie down
Yeah, it's
in
like the
peace,
day the music died, that song.
not make our neighbors afraid. In you, O God, we discover our humanity. In our humanity, we discover our commonness. Beyond the difference of color, creed, origin, political party, ideology,
Yeah, we're all in the
geography,
dark
and personal
brown
preference.
runny stuff now, like.
We'll
Going to be up to the
become
next, innit? Democracy's
greater
dead.
stewards of your environment,
China is now controlling the White House.
preserving the land, reaping from it a sustainable harvest, and securing its wonder and miracle-giving power for generations to come.
Well, this has gone
This
slightly over.
is
It's supposed to
our
last.
benediction.
I thought it was supposed to
That
stop at
from
1 p.m.
These hallowed grounds.
Oh no, I'm not saying it. I mean, I normally don't get many figures anyway. I'm still sort of like trying to build up the subscribers and stuff. I'm just glad I've got what 8 viewers now. That's pretty good for me. So, all right, you see there in the front of that that tower there. There's a big screen. That's what he was reading before for his auto cue.
In every corner of the globe, from the wealthy to those struggling to make it, from every human being, regardless of their choices, that this is our country. As such, teach us, O God.
You're right, where are the 80 million?
As such, teach us, O God,
That's a fair
to
point.
live in it.
Because
Love
these,
in it.
I mean, obviously some of them are,
Be healed in
can't
it.
watch because they're dead, obviously.
And
People
reconcile
that died
to one
50,
another
60
in
years ago, that were born in the
Yes,
1850s and what have you.
miss
So those people can't. That's what I'm saying. They're going to have a seance later to tell them.
To your glory,
But yeah,
majesty,
small
dominion,
crowds
and power.
when he was doing rallies,
forever.
small crowds when he's doing his virtual events, and small crowds
Hallelujah.
now when he's been inaugurated.
Glory, hallelujah. In the strong name of our collective faith. Amen.
Martin Luther King reincarnated. Hallelujah.
Standing as the Armed Forces Color Guard retires our national colors.
Fist bump. Turns it into a punch in the face. This is quite groovy music, actually. See the braid round. Oh, he's caught his flag on there. Oh, nearly got it. The braid around the flag means it's actually it's under surrender. Alright, they turned off chat for other streams. I didn't know that. Yeah, you can say whatever you want, yeah. As long as you're not threatening anybody with violence, really. I don't really have many rules. Yeah, we are going to go running full sprint into the Great Reset. I mean, Trudeau was going on about it the other day as well. You know, Boris and Matt Wankcock's been going on about
Ladies
it.
and gentlemen, please be seated and remain in your seats while the president and official party.
Yeah, Mark, I think we'll need a
For
defib.
safety reasons, your ushers will release your section in
500
an
k onward.
organized
Oh,
manner.
okay.
Following the playing of our national march, the stars
For
and
freedom
stripes
says,
forever.
There's 500,000 on one of them. Yeah, 500,000 of 80 million's not a lot, like. And that's not forgetting people like me who obviously have not voted for this. I might have done, I might not know about it, so I might have voted, I don't think I did. So I'm watching this purely out of interest to see what happens, and I did watch the Trump one. I think I watched that live as well, actually. Yeah. Yeah, will be on cable, they'll be on be satellite as well. But even cable TV doesn't get that many viewers these days. There's a lot of YouTube channels. Hey, look, they're going, hey, we're not going to jail. We're not going to jail. No Guantanamo Bay for me. There's all the Supreme Court judges who didn't look at anything. Yeah, we'll support the Constitution. Not for that though, not for that. But the other stuff we will. I can't believe we got away with it. Can you believe we got away with it? Hey, we haven't been arrested or anything. Right, are the cameras off yet? Can we take our masks off? I mean, that guy with the white hair, his mask's almost off. There's Joe Biden's Chinese handler. I think he's never more than 3 steps away from him. That guy there, never more than 3 steps away from Biden. Right, let's see if he comes out with a pair of handcuffs on. Heels up, Harris. Hey, we did it. You're not going to jail there. That must be our current husband. Be funny if he was wearing a Chinese flag, like. Yes. I don't know what the national anthem of China is, but I think that's what they're going in now, to have a teleconference about it. Oh, there's a mask coming off yet? No, not yet. There's cameras on. Not yet. Not yet. There's cameras.
Thank you all. Thank you. Made a lot of work for you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Yeah. There's going to be a massive cull online of all those people who are Trump supporters or who worked for Trump or who have said anything good about Trump or who don't now start saying the good things about, you know, diversity and Black Lives Matter and how Antifa are the best thing since sliced bread. No fighting in the chat room, please. Oh, right. Drinks sponsored by the CCP. Don't know who those people in the front are, like. Who's walking with purpose there, mind. What we're doing now, Jill? Are you me sister or are you me wife? I can't remember. Which one are you?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Where's me basement? Is that his sister or his wife? Heels up, Harris. Can't believe I got away with it. I haven't been arrested. She's already got a list prepared of who she's going to arrest.
Very much. Thank you.
Remember what you said? There's no corner of this country that we won't find you. So they're coming for you. They're coming for you. They're coming for your guns. And there's Barry Soetoro, that's what it is. Born in Kenya. And the woman who certified his birth certificate in Hawaii died mysteriously in a plane crash. Drowning she did. There's Pelosi. It's hard to recognise people with their masks on. He needs a haircut. There's Pence. Look, they haven't been arrested yet. Underwear. I think we're all going for some tiffin. Yep, you're right there, CM. It's all going to come down to social credit scores going to be brought in. You're not be allowed to travel. I mean, they're going to bring out the health passport, like I've mentioned a while back. That's going to be coming out soon. Yeah, you're right. The message giver wasn't great, like.
Okay.
Well written but badly delivered. It is all in the delivery. That's one thing Churchill was really good at, was the delivery. He used to practice and practice and practice and then pretend he hadn't really practiced. But he used to practice a lot on the delivery, and it is the delivery that makes the difference, I think. Hey, we got away with it. Where's Q? Way! Right, we're not going to jail. Great. I wonder how quickly all of the businesses will now open. In those various states around Portland and Michigan, etc., where they're being shut, and how quickly the virus goes away, or they're going to continue to push the vaccine, not vaccine. If you look on the Moderna website, as I have done, you will find out that the vaccine from Moderna, it's an operating system. I mean, I've worked with lots of operating systems, and you don't want to be injecting yourself with some of that. Yep, the Great Purge will now begin, and so will the Great Reset, the Great Financial Reset as well. They will offer you to remove all of your debt, but you won't own anything. So remove all debts, give up absolutely everything you own, and I mean everything. Everything. Forget about, you know, keeping an iPad or your car. They're going to own everything. You can rent it, but only if you got the right social credit score. So they're now going to tell you who you can and can't be friends with. But you can't be friends with anybody. But if they've got a bad social credit score that affects your social credit score, which then affects other people connected to you, their social credit score, and that's how it works in China. Any bets on how long till the media turns? What time's it now? I think about 6 p.m. You know, when the 6 o'clock news comes out. I'm presuming there's a 6 o'clock news. I don't watch the mainstream media. But online immediately, as soon as this bit's over, they're going to do, you know, the talking heads bit. You know, and what do you think about Big Mike? Well, I thought she looked great, and I couldn't see her beard at all. They own it, yeah. Any bets on how long the media will turn? Immediately. FEMA camps. We'll be seeing lots of new business. Yeah, they're opening up their own concentration camps now, or they're using migrant camps to concentrate people who are breaking quarantine, otherwise known as house arrest. Yeah, they did laugh at Trump, and I think he was playing a bit of a game there, actually, to lull people into a false sense of security. And we're going to see. I mean, obviously the whole ceremony's now over, and I don't see anybody being arrested. Let's see what they say in Telegram. Let's see what that's being said. Let's have a look at the QAnons United in Telegram to see what they're saying. You guys are turning apart. Take a break. We know they cheated. We know they just certified that. Take a break. Oh, okay. So the latest thing on Q now, of course, this is one scenario I forgot to mention, is that now they've certified a fraudulent president and vice president. So the circle is now, this is what the Anons are now saying. One of the scenarios was that they let absolutely everything run through. So therefore they've got everybody. They've caught them all, as Trump would say. Nobody else could have done it. And so they've now certified a fraudulent president, a fraudulent vice president. So they've now completed that full circle. They mentioned that when Obama, Hussein, left, he pardoned everybody secretly that was involved in everything, and they had the 4 years from when Trump was in office till now, till literally today, to catch everybody. So everything beforehand was pardoned. They gave everybody, and I must admit, they gave everybody every chance to do the right thing. You know, they took it to the state Supreme Court, they took it to the legislators, they took it to the federal Supreme Court. They've done various investigations, all come to nothing. They even tried to oppose the various electoral college voters inside the House of Representatives. That didn't come to anything because, of course, there was the Capitol was raided, and therefore people just went, "Oh, we're just going to let it be. We're not going to object anymore." So, so they've had every opportunity and all those different possibilities of doing the right thing. And what the Anons are now saying is that this is just part of that process. In order to spring a trap, You've got to allow them to complete the entire process. Here we are on the steps of the Capitol, I believe. Yeah, Pence is definitely on the inside, like. He's definitely on the wrong side of history. That's for sure. Right. Is this where Biden comes down? Or if he's going to fall down the steps. Obviously, I don't want him to do that, obviously. But that would be funny. So hold on a minute. That can't be... I thought the president would go in the beast. Yeah, and that's what I've noticed a lot about the Anons. Everything's always kicked down the road. Yeah, you're still on camera, Barry. Put your mask back on, mate. Anyway, where's Big Mike? Yeah, we'll see you at Branson's Island. Yeah, he's having a party later on. Yeah, he's going to spend another $50,000 on hot dogs, or $65,000 on hot dogs and pizza. Well, I hope something does happen. You know, I really do hope that the 10th Mountain Division, or the United States Marine Corps... Well, actually, there was 2,000 of the... I think it was the National Guard were sworn in as deputies to the US Marshal Service. So is this coming out in rank? Vice President old, Vice President new, then the President. Nice set of steps, mind. I must admit, it's a nice set of buildings there. Anybody coming forward yet? Anybody coming forward? No, we're safe. Oh, somebody's on the mic. That wasn't me, by the way. No, they can't high five, they can't shake, can't kiss, because, you know, Rona. My God, those people have got knives on the end of the rifles. Oh no, bayonets ready. Oh yeah, the different versions. Yeah, there's tens of thousands of variants. Mutations, they're called. Happens all the time. They're just going to keep this perpetual new variant, new variant, new variant. It's just a perpetual... And I said... crikey, back in, I think it was March, April time, that there will just be perpetual lockdown. And that's all to do. Oh, someone's on the mic. Somebody at C-SPAN. There's a Secret Service in the background there, uniformed version. No, Pence is not getting arrested. Alright, so that's his armoured. See all the how thick the doors are on that vehicle? Maybe it's about that big, about 6 to 8 inches. It's sort of like a door within a door within a door. Absolutely nothing happening. Well, I did say the first arrest will shock the world. Bye. See you. We're going to come for you later. We're going to take all your guns off you. That's a small bayonet on the end of that rifle, mind. Mind you, the British bayonets aren't that long, only about that long, I think. That's the blade length, not including the handle. Well, that's his Secret Service there. 1, 2, 3, 4 vehicles. There's some sort of radio vehicle there. There's a secret to standing to attention all the time. Something I was told early on is that you wiggle your toes inside your boots, because quite often, well, in fact, nearly all the time, somebody will collapse. You just stand there all the time, and if you just keep your toes moving, it keeps your blood circulating. Especially on a hot day, you will definitely see people faint. Right, are they gone? Are they gone? Way, we're stole it! Way! Let's see if anybody gets arrested. Look, they're coming out. Nope, nobody's getting stopped. There's an ambulance following them as well. Nope, nobody getting arrested, nobody getting stopped. No, you can put your mask back on. The cameras are still there, man. Yeah. Remember that 6 foot. Remember that. This is a little bit of the truth sneaking out here.
Congratulations. Well done. Almost finished.
Yeah, I wish you were almost finished. Well, that's it. It's nothing has happened. Nothing at all has happened. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Still waiting on the plan. Yes, we're still waiting on the plan. Where is the plan? What's happened to the plan? Trust the plan, they said. And I think the plan might be to just keep you going along all of the time, keep you busy. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, thanks to him. It, you know, try and offer a bit of levity in these dark times. It's not gone well for the cute people, for the Anons. So 25,000 troops, 25,000 National Guard, sorry, 10th Mountain Division, and I did watch some of the Q posts regarding that, like Red 1 to Red 6, and I think it was at Red 5 or was it Red 4 was the Marine Corps, not Marine Corps, the Mountain Troops. So some of the stuff, well, in fact, quite a bit of the stuff that Q said did actually line up, just nothing has actually happened regarding any of this. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Let's see what the Anons are saying again. I've just typed into the QAnon Telegram. Well, nothing happened. Let's see if I get flamed for it. Is still someone waiting for the plan? Trusting in the plan? Just curious. Where's the plan then? Well, well, well. I don't think anything is going to happen. I don't see anybody getting arrested. I don't see any of the emergency broadcast system going round. I don't see the troops swooping in and arresting everybody. I don't see any of the television broadcasts being interrupted. Mind you, I'm not watching television, I'm online. But there's lots of things here just not happening. Bits of plywood by the looks of it, that's not very good. Yeah, the bits you shouldn't be seeing. Could at least painted them. Bird's eye metal, perhaps. Let's see who's taking the mask off. Nobody yet. Oh, there's Barry Obama. No, even Barry's not being arrested. Wow, I wonder if he's filthy rich. That woman there. Unless that's his daughter, of course. Don't know who those people are. What is happening? Because nothing's happening. I'm looking at the Q boards now. The Anons, sorry, on Telegram. And people are saying the Constitution no longer stands for this country. You all believed in the Q plan, the new plan. Come up with a new plan. Yeah, people are just getting mocked online now. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I don't believe the Q plan is working. Let's have a look at the White House website, what that says. And he's already on. He's already on. Yep, Biden's already on the whitehouse.gov website. It's called the Biden-Harris administration. Immediate priorities: climate, racial equality, economy, healthcare, immigration, restoring America's global standing. Yeah, get straight back into the Paris Accord. Let's pay loads of money every month, every year for absolutely nothing. People are saying we've all been lied to. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Yes, Bill Clinton was sleeping, I do believe. Well, trust the plan, they said. Was the plan just to keep people busy all the time while they did absolutely nothing, just spinning the wheels? Where is the plan? Oh yes, Lynn Wood. Now Lynn Wood is also on Telegram as well. I must admit, I've only started using Telegram fairly recently. I've known about it for a while, but I thought Paula was going to be the next big thing, because Twitter's on its way out. And I did think that, I mean, I've used Telegram for a while, but I thought Gab isn't really that great. I'm on that as well. But Telegram seems to be the tool of choice at the moment. Because it's all bull. Yep. Well, it's looking that way, isn't it? I've always sort of kept me powder dry. I'm like, just wait and see. I've watched a few of these videos about Q, and I put one of them on my Facebook page as well for people to watch, saying what is this Q or something like that. But a lot of it seems to be all stuff and nonsense. Let's see what Lynn Wood's saying. Now, Lynn Wood, I don't know if you remember, he was part of the legal team for the Stop the Steal, working on behalf of Trump for the Republican Party or Trump, to for various legal cases, and then he went off on a tangent talking about Biden and Hunter, Biden and Pence as well being kitty fiddlers. That's rather interesting. Now, it's tradition for the previous president to leave a note, a letter, which is only read by the incoming president. And according to Lynn Wood, is Donald Trump has signed a letter saying, "Joe, you know I won." That's apparently that's the
Coming
letter.
up in just a few minutes, President Biden will participate in a signing ceremony, some executive orders, some documents related to taking office. After that, he will review the military on the east front of the Capitol, and that's at about 1:30 or so. And then he and Mrs. Biden, along with Presidents Obama, Clinton, and George W. Bush, will go to Arlington to lay a wreath there. And after that is a military escort to the White House, and that will start at about 15th Street or so, 2 blocks from the White House, and that will bring them into the White House this afternoon. So in just a few minutes, we will be live with the signing ceremony and President Biden. Greta Bronner, what have you found on social media or on the news?
Well, let's start with reaction from world leaders. Justin
Yeah,
Trudeau,
yeah,
the
let's
leader of
start with
Canada,
reactions
tweeting
from
out,
world leaders.
"Congratulations, Joe Biden, on your inauguration as the 46th President of the United States. Our two
Yeah, he loves the
countries have
Chinese
tackled
man,
some of
Trudeau.
history's greatest
He was actually
challenges
training them in
together,
Arctic
and
warfare.
I'm looking
Well, he
forward
wasn't,
to
but his
continuing this
military
partnership
was, and
with
got
you
caught
and Vice
hook, line, and
President
sinker.
Kamala Harris in your administration." And then from the UK Prime Minister, the Conservative
Oh, Joe,
Boris
yeah, get
Johnson
straight in there,
saying
mate.
Congratulations to Joe Biden on being sworn in as President of the United States, and to Kamala Harris on her historic inauguration. America's leadership is vital on the issues that matter to us all.
Trust the plan, they
from climate
said.
change
Trust the
to
plan.
COVID, and I look forward
Don't know what
to
the plan
working
was.
with President Biden. Now, earlier today, before President Biden was sworn in, the leader of Iran, according to the Hill newspaper, called for the Biden administration to return
Let's
to
go
the
and see what the
Iran
Qs are
nuclear
saying.
deal.
Or the
Quote,
Anons, sorry.
"The ball is in the U.S. court now." Hill newspaper also reports that the Mexican president,
Oh
during a
dear,
news conference
being
before
slated.
he was sworn in, before President Biden was sworn in, urges the Biden administration to give
I see John
legal
Q has
status
gone,
to
and now that was the
Mexicans
plan. He just goes
working
away
in the
quietly. Don't know who
United
John Q was.
States. Now, the new president has already sent out a tweet from his official presidential account. At 12:36 p.m., there is no time to waste when it comes to tackling the crisis we face. That's why today I am heading to the Oval Office to get right to work delivering bold action in immediate relief for American
Oh
families.
dear,
According to
Laura Loomer.
reporters,
America's now a
Roll
third world
Call
nation.
reports that Biden
It's
will
heartbreaking,
direct federal
absolutely
agencies
devastating to see what
review
our country has
more than
become.
100 federal
Starting tomorrow, the
environmental
Democrat is going to openly
regulations and
transform
agency decisions
into
by
the
Trump
Gestapo with full
administration.
force. That is true, mind.
And also,
I don't know if
Jennifer
they're going to wait
Epstein
that long
with
till tomorrow.
Bloomberg reporting Joe Biden will take office
They are coming for
later
Trump.
today
Yeah,
and
the
begin a
equivalent of Jim
flurry
Crow will
executive
probably be
actions,
enacted against
including
Conservatives
stopping
going
border
forward by
wall
the Biden
construction, revoking
administration.
the
Yes, they
Keystone
will.
Pipeline,
And they are coming
joining
for
the Paris
all
Agreement
of
and the World
you
Health
and
Organization,
us.
imposing a mask mandate.
They are coming for
on
anyone who doesn't
federal
embrace
property.
their radical agenda.
And
That's
it was
quite a lot of people.
Exactly 1 hour ago.
And they're going to take all the
that
guns
Joe
off you.
Biden took the oath of office.
We are about to be living in hell. Yep. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr.
Oh, it's all gone wrong. What they're doing. C-SPAN's lost the transmission, I think.
solemnly swear
That I will faithfully execute.
that I will faithfully execute
No,
the
that's
office of
no,
President
no.
of the
That's
United
not
the
Biden.
office of President of the United States,
And will, to the best of my ability,
will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
Oh dear, oh
the
dear.
Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Okay, so obviously now that Trump's been impeached twice, unsuccessfully, and
And back live on the east front of the Capitol.
it looks like they're going to impeach
former
Biden
presidents are
tomorrow.
departing,
We'll start it.
along with other
Don't think that's got any legs
dignitaries.
either.
Let's watch.
Oh well. The Anons on Telegram are just either saying trust the plan or it was only there to keep you quiet. Let's see what Mel Q is saying. Three QAnon influencers have already claimed Biden was part of a QAnon all along, grifting controlled opposition for lunatics. So nothing happened during the ceremony then? Nobody was arrested? You know, you've got 25,000 National Guard in Washington DC and a big fence around it. None of that happened. Yeah, there's Barry on his way out. And Big Mike. See you, Mike. Aren't we all called domestic terrorists now? Yeah, I do believe anybody who didn't support Biden is now a domestic terrorist. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Now Q was a massive psyop. Whether it was all for naught or not. These lot must be absolutely laughing. Well, voting doesn't mean anything in America now, so what they can't do is they can't go around and then say to other countries, you know,
And
Venezuela
President
and what
Biden
have you.
remains in the Capitol. He'll be signing some documents. We will bring that to you live in just a few
Probably
minutes.
be having his medication and a lie down, I would think.
Outside the barriers that are set up around the Capitol, some folks have gathered to either protest or congratulate the new president. And this is maybe 2 blocks from the U.S. Capitol. Greta Bronner, let's check in one more time before we go back to the Capitol.
Let's begin with the historic inauguration of Kamala Harris as vice president. The Hill newspaper reports that when she arrived for today's inauguration, former President Barack Obama told her, "So proud of you."
Yeah, you've got us off all them crimes.
Gavin Newsom, the California governor, saying history made. Congratulations to Madam Vice President. We are so, so proud of you.
That's only this week. She'll be president next week, no doubt.
And then Jeff Zeleny reports for CNN. A Biden aide confirms to CNN that United States Capitol Police Officer Eugene Goodman, seen in video holding off and thwarting rioters from entering the Senate chamber on January 6th, did escort VP Kamala Harris in his new role as acting deputy House Sergeant at Arms. And here's the picture of that moment on the Capitol earlier today. Also happening behind the scenes were today the new senators from Georgia. They're going to be sworn in this afternoon. There's John Ossoff and Reverend Warnock doing an elbow bump there before today's inauguration. And then from the pool reporters on Capitol Hill, they caught up with the former Speaker Paul Ryan for Inauguration Day, and he told them, "Our institutions were tested this year, and our institutions passed the test. I'm here out of respect for the peaceful transfer of power." Let me show you a picture of Jim Jordan talking to the former Speaker earlier today. And then on the poetry that you heard from 22-year-old Amanda Gorman, Jody Cantor, who writes for the New York Times, has this backstory on her poem. She struggled to write it. Then came the assault on the Capitol that night. She stayed up late and finished, certain of what she wanted to say. And also this from Nicole Goodkind, who writes for Fortune magazine. Amanda Gorman was wearing earrings gifted to her from Oprah, along with a birdcage ring. When Maya Angelou spoke at the 1993 inauguration, Oprah sent her a Chanel coat and a pair of gloves to wear. She wanted to continue the tradition with Gorman. And Oprah sent out a tweet after Amanda Gorman read her poem today. "I have never been prouder to see another young woman rise. Brava, brava, the Amanda Gorman. Maya Angelou is cheering, and so am I."
Now, you probably saw earlier Mike and Karen Pence being escorted out by Vice President Harris and her husband, Doug Emhoff. The Vice President was then put into his motorcade and is heading to Indiana this evening. But it was on March 4th, 1933, When FDR took over for Herbert Hoover was sent to Union Station, 4 blocks north of the Capitol, without any Secret Service. Before the signing ceremony, we want to show you just a little bit of Joe Biden's inaugural address.
And here we stand, just days after a riotous mob thought they could use violence to silence the will of the people, to stop the work of our democracy.
Well, looks like China's now in the White House.
Sacred ground.
For some reason, C-SPAN can't seem to get the audio.
It will
and
never
the
happen. Not today.
Oh, they're
not
just playing the
tomorrow,
audio, do you think?
Not ever. Not ever. To all those who
People are still
supported our
saying, trust the
campaign,
plan, trust the plan.
I'm humbled by the faith you've placed in us. To all those who did not support us, let me say this. Hear me out as we move forward. Take a measure of me and my heart. And if you still disagree, so be it. That's democracy. That's America.
All right, so here's the next one, 3:15, which is 8:15 tonight. I might do a second live casting if we're going to do this. There's a virtual parade across America, which will be live streamed. We'll kick off with Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris,
And I pledge this to you.
And the Q post says a parade that will never be forgotten. Ask yourself why.
All Americans.
So I might be back on then, because I was hoping something would happen with this Q stuff, but nothing did.
I will fight as hard for those who did not support me as for those who did.
Now, coming up after the signing ceremony this afternoon is the military
That is disappointing,
on
mind.
the East Front. We will be live with both those events, and then the wreath laying at Arlington Cemetery with the former presidents, followed by a military escort to the White House, and then a virtual parade. Now, Jen Psaki is the new White House press secretary, and she has confirmed that she will be doing a 7 p.m. press conference this evening from the White House. Let's go back to the East Front.
Oh, people are furiously typing into the various message boards on Telegram, mind, and see what the QAnons United are saying. Obviously, wait, stop the stupid stuff, man, not happening. We're knackered and now forever save. A bullet for yourself when you refuse to go alive. Yeah, there was a mate of mine who was working in... was it Iraq or Afghanistan? I think it was Afghanistan. Yes, it was Afghanistan. And he was in the Horse Guards. But he then left and went back as a civvy. And you can buy weapons out there. You're not supposed to have them as a civilian. But you can buy them. And he bought a 9mm pistol. And I think he just had the one mag of rounds, 9mm rounds. I think he had 15. And the guy he bought it from said, anything happens, remember, keep the last one for yourself, because you don't want to be caught by ISIS. And when he left, he sold it back. So there's basically like a buy and sell, bit of a gun trader over in Afghanistan. Well, a big lot of nothing happened there. Absolutely nothing. So there's going to be a virtual parade 8:30 tonight, which is going to be 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. So they're going to have a virtual parade. So I'll probably come back on at 8:30 and see if anything happens.
Biden and Vice President Harris will be participating in the signing ceremony in the Capitol. Seems to be just a few minutes delayed, so maybe we can get some more news from Greta Bronner.
Peter, you mentioned outgoing Vice President Mike Pence. David Mark, a reporter, notes that this ends 20 years in public service for Mike Pence, 12 years as a Republican House member, 4 years as Indiana governor, and 4 years as vice president.
It's a long time, that
And
means.
Lady Gaga, who performed the national anthem, sent this tweet out today at 1 p.m. A dove carrying an olive branch.
I mean, look at the size of that.
The pin on
you know
her
what I mean?
outfit.
I mean, a fair wind should take off for that.
Peace with each other. And then again, back to Amanda Gorman and the poet. She sent a tweet out thanking Lin-Manuel Miranda of Hamilton Musical, saying, "Did you catch the two Hamilton musical references in the inaugural poem? I couldn't help myself."
That was a poem that was
Congratulating
terrible, like.
her on her poem today. He responded saying, "You were perfect, perfectly written, perfectly delivered, every bit of it."
And in just a few minutes, the signing ceremony and exchange of gifts between leaders of Congress and the president. Here's a little bit more from President Biden's inaugural address.
I know speaking of unity can sound to some like a foolish fantasy these days.
Oh yeah, from you, come from you,
I
man. I
know
would
the
say so.
forces that divide us are deep and they are real. But I also know they are not new. Our history has been a constant struggle between the American ideal that we're all created equal and the harsh.
Yeah, so people in the Anon field, on the Anon Telegram, it's called QAnon's United, they're now saying that something big is going to happen in the virtual parade.
The battle is perennial, and victory is never assured. Through Civil War, the Great Depression, World War, 9/11, through struggle, sacrifice, and setbacks, our better angels have always prevailed. In each of these moments, enough of us have come together to carry all of us forward.
Lots of people are disappointed and confused.
And we can do that now. History, faith, and reason show the way of unity. We can see each other not as adversaries, but as neighbors.
No,
We
not
can
exactly
treat each other
JFK,
with
not
dignity
really.
And respect. We can join forces, stop the shouting, and lower the temperature. For without unity, there is no peace.
I wonder what the American stock market's doing. Let's have a butcher's.
No progress. Only
No
exhausting
justice, no
outrage.
peace. Is that not what they shout?
No nation. Only a state of chaos. This is our historic moment.
See what the Dow Jones is doing.
Crisis and challenge. And unity is the path forward. And we must meet this moment.
That's up 248
as the
points,
United
0.8%.
States of America. If we do that, I guarantee you we will not fail. We have never, ever, ever, ever failed.
Ever.
We've acted together. And so today,
Is JFK going to?
This time, in
is he
this
going to be
place,
assassinated by an avatar?
let's start
Who
afresh.
knows? Who
all
knows?
of us, let's begin to listen to one another again. Hear one another.
Slur on
see
his
one
words there, mate. I must
Show
admit.
respect to one another. Politics doesn't have to be a raging fire.
Come on, man.
Destroying everything in its path. Every disagreement doesn't have to be a cause for total war. And we must reject the culture in which facts themselves are manipulated and even manufactured.
So all along, for the last 3 and a bit years, this Q has been going on about how stuff will happen. And
My fellow Americans, we have to be different than this. America has to be
people have
better
got it
than
wrong
this.
all the time. All of the time,
And I
all the
believe
Anons have got it
America
wrong.
is so much better than this.
And back live in Washington, inside the Capitol.
Oh, look
Speaker
at the flags.
Pelosi just came out. The signing ceremony should begin here shortly.
Right, I'm going to... I might just keep this going, actually.
But in the meantime, let's check in with Greta Braun
we've got
one more time.
5 people watching.
While
That's
we wait for what's
not so
happening
bad.
inside the Capitol, let me show you what it looked like outside of the inauguration
This is gonna be quite
perimeter
interesting.
around Washington, D.C. These photos come from C-SPAN camera techs who are out and about today, and you can see all the different security that was put in place around Washington with
There's nobody
Metropolitan
there.
Police, National Guard.
This is
Border
indicative
Control,
of,
a lot of different
the traction of
security,
Biden.
law
Literally,
enforcement, security forces
hardly anybody.
around Capitol Hill today.
Span's office building is included in that perimeter, so it's we have a good view, and at the same time, the hassle of getting inside. Well, some of the signing ceremonies have to do with the president's top executive nominations and picks. Some of those hearings have already taken place.
Right, I'm going to
former
make a cup
Secretary
of
of
tea,
State,
but I'm
Janet
going to leave
Yellen
this
for
running.
Treasury,
I'll stick
General Lloyd
the mic on
Austin
mute,
for
and
the Department of
I'll be back in a
Defense.
bit.
Those are just 3 of the hearings that have already confirmation hearings that have already taken place with the Republicans in charge. Once the Congress comes back in, now that Senators Warnock and Ossoff are signed in, and Kamala Harris is vice president, there will be a new Senate set up with Chuck Schumer as the majority leader and Mitch McConnell as the minority leader. And at 2:30 this afternoon, President and Mrs. Biden, along with former Presidents Obama, Clinton, and Bush, will be laying a wreath right there in Arlington Cemetery, right across the Potomac River in Arlington, Virginia, at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Because of this and other security concerns, a lot of the bridges from Virginia to Washington, D.C. have been shut down the last couple of days, creating a bit of local havoc. But this ceremony is scheduled to start at 2:30. Now, on the east front of the Capitol, there is a military review, and this is usually the time, and this was scheduled to start at 1:30. This is usually the time when the president and the ex-president pass the baton, and the new president escorts the old president, to a helicopter, and the helicopter takes off and goes to Andrews. Of course, that was not the case this year. This 59th transition of power has been unique, as most of them are, again. So this afternoon, we're waiting on the signing ceremony in the Capitol with President Biden, Vice President Harris, Speaker Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer. After that, the military pass and review on the East Front. That's followed by the Arlington Cemetery ceremony with the former presidents as well. And then President Biden will have a military escort to the White House. It'll be about a two-block long escort, and whether he gets out, that's not known at this point, but it's going to be from 15th Street. The White House sits at 16th in Pennsylvania. So that's all happening this afternoon. We also know that Jen Psaki, the new press secretary for President Biden, will be holding a press conference at 7 p.m. this evening. So that's where we stand as far as inaugural events today. And we're just waiting on the signing ceremony. And Greta Bronner, do you have anything else for us?
While we wait, Peter, let's take a look at the new Twitter handle of, actually, the signing ceremony has begun.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And I'm back in the room. Oh, he's signing it.
And the president is still in the Capitol. His next stop is the Rotunda in the center of the Capitol, where he will be presented. He and Vice President Harris will be presented with a painting. It is a landscape with rainbow, is what it's called, and it's by Robert Duncanson. And they will be presented this in the center of the Rotunda. That's the next event on the schedule, followed by the military pass and review on the East Front.
How you doing?